Hey people, time for another vlog. I know my voice sounds weird. I've got a weird cold. It's got my voice hoarse. Been a day or two since I uploaded the last vlog, which was the new skin panels, wall panels, for the photo hallway. And I mentioned at the end of that vlog what was going to be next, and it's going to be finishing off the my blacklight room, the water room for the haunt. Last year we made new wall panels for that, and I refurbished the water wall prop, which is a big prop. Got everything in that display done, except for the other big prop in there, and that was a video pumping station. In fact, here's the way that looked. There you go. Now that prop, people like that prop. They love that prop. They love the giant eyeball, which is the video portion of it. Problem with it is that thing's a corner prop. I mean, it's built to go into a corner. You can't put it in the middle of the wall. It's got to go into a corner just the way it's designed, or it doesn't go together. We're going to be totally tossing that one to the side. There are a couple of pieces of the old water wall that we will be refurbishing and using in the new water wall. But this new one is going to be designed so it can fit in the corner or in the middle of a wall. You know, and I can do we'll be able to do different adjustments with it from one year to the next. But to get started, that mess there, that is all the framework for doing that water wall. You know, all the skins and everything else attaches to those. They're still in fairly good shape. There's one or two pieces here or there that need to be replaced. What I was thinking about doing, instead of getting in and having to buy a bunch of new 2x2s to do the framework, I'm going to try to use as much of the old stuff as I can. Which means, first step in this project is I got to take all these apart, sort out the bad wood, figure out what wood I can keep and use, and then go from there. Now, I got some 2x2s over there on my wood stack too, so left over from Halloween, I had a few extra. Hoping I won't have to get into those as much. But with these here, we'll get these taken apart, and then we can start getting things configured for the new prop, for the new pumping station. Now, I do also want to touch on that this is likely going to be a 2 or a 3-part vlog. It just depends on my footage and time and everything else on this. And I will probably be doing a reveal video too as well for this once it's all the way done. So with that, I'm going to start taking things apart and seeing what we got. Okay, I was going to wait to do another segment until I was a little further along in the project. But something comical kind of just happened. I got my first wall panel here framed in. It's 6 foot 3 inches long by 6 foot 11 in height. The 6 foot 11 in height is the same height as my partition walls. And since this will be butted up against the partition walls and attached to them on one end, I needed it the same size. But it went together easy. Thing is, it was taking up too much room in here. I had to move things around so I could get the second one up on the table and build it. So I decided, for temporarily, I was going to take it outside I ran into a problem. The doorway isn't tall enough to allow that thing to come out. Even if I tried doing it diagonal, you know, go diagonal there, up to there, and then sliding it out, it wouldn't fit. It was still 2 inches too big. I can't get the damn thing out of my shop. And once I gotta sheathe that in a piece of plywood and the foam, which are both going to be Gorilla Glued on. And I'll be doing the carving and the painting I have to do in here. Once it's fully assembled, I can't get it out of the shop. I'm thinking, oh shit, what the hell am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do? And, you know, while I was thinking about it, I was standing right here, you know, looking at it, because I had it propped up against the door. And I'm looking at the height of this door and the height of that door. My double doors there. I haven't had those double doors open, oh God, 6 years, 7 years? But I went and measured them. They're 6'10" tall. They're an inch too short, but I can bring that wall out through there diagonally. You know, going corner to corner, and the panel will come right out. So that's all the problem. But it opens up another problem. I got all my plywood stuff and whatever sitting right here, which means I'm going to have to find a temporary home for that so I can move that damn thing in and out of here. Plus, every time I want to move these panels in and out, I got to move the bandsaw, I got to move the table saw, they've got to go somewhere in the shop. So I have access to get that thing out, and its mate, which I'm getting ready to assemble now. Like I said, it's kind of a comical situation. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just started putting it together. You know, I build things in here, and everything goes out that door. I didn't even think about the height of the door and how tall I was building that. That's 6'11" there. God. One mess after the other. Anyway, I'm going to go back to building since I got my problem semi-taken care of. Well, it's not sitting level. It's kind of leaning that way a little bit. But the basic frame is done. We've got 6 foot from this pole to that pole and 6'11" from the top to the bottom. I added some supports here to kind of stiffen it up and act as a backer for this other 2x2 that rings the whole thing. And that's going to be my ledger board I got for a piece of plywood that will slide in across here. Or at least just right here. I might just do a small section here. Reason why I need the plywood is that's where the projector sits, which will shine up that way and make it look like there's a giant eye inside here of a monster looking out. So, but yeah, I haven't decided whether I'm going to use a full sheet or not. There's really no need for a full sheet in here. So I could just use a small section back there. Basically, I just need the plywood to run from here to here, right where the projector is going to go. But some years, I want the eye on my screen to be large. Other years, I want a little bit smaller, and I get that effect by sliding the projector forward or back, depending on what I want to do. So, probably go from here to here with a piece of plywood I can put in and just, you know, run a couple of screws in to hold it into place. So, but anyway, my next job on this is I've got to skin it. I've got a sheet of plywood on both sides and foam that needs to go on this. Both on both sides and the front. And in order to do that, I've got to get this taken apart and get that door open, and I can take them out that way. That'll get them out of my way because I need to be able to move the bandsaw and the table saw out where I need them, you know, so I can use them. But before I can do that, I've got some cleaning to do. I've got to get this mess cleaned up so I can get stuff out because it's blocking the door. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well blow my driveway off too. It's a little after 5. I think I'm going to call it quits. My back is acting up. I got the front panel over there. It's got its plywood and foam on it. And I got this side panel and that side panel with its plywood and foam on it. Gorilla glued on, so they're not going to be coming off very easy. I got to let them dry overnight before I can do anything else with them. I do need to go through and do a little trimming around the edges. Some of the pieces are slightly bigger than they need to be, especially on the front panel over there. We did do a redesign, which saved me some time. I had the set dresser out here this morning before I started doing the foam and the plywood. And the project had been bugging me too. It seemed big. Set dresser said the same thing. It's way too big, you know, lengthwise. And it was a length that was causing me not to be able to get it out this door. I was going to do that door, which meant moving that mess outside. We decided I cut it down by 2 feet, which shortened it up enough I could use this door, which means I didn't have to deal with the mess on the outside of the garage. Thank God. Now it is going to cause some problems. One problem on that front end, I had to cut a circle in it and put a projection screen in for the projector that goes in this prop. I usually have a giant eyeball that blinks and stuff. Well, with it being shorter, I don't have to do as big of a circle in there for the projection screen. I can make it a little bit smaller and go from there and see how we go. It'll give me a chance to do some other carving, maybe put some words or something on it, I don't know. But that is going to be kind of for tomorrow. At least a trimming and carving the circle in, or cutting the circle in on both these panels here, all 3 of them. Then we're going to kind of go from there. Stage 1 is done. We got the main pumping station done. We've got the 2 side panels, and I believe I said I shortened them down by 2 feet. And we've got the front done. And we got a Morgan coming out.
Hi.
She's going to give me a hand out here with some cleanup. And you can use one of those little garbage cans there, okay? Okay. Now that's done, I got to get the rest of the pumping station together. And it has to do with these here. These are the clamshells that went on the old one that had flickering blue or flickering green lights in. And I got to get these. I'm going to set up a small one and a big one on their own panels. And do up 2 of them. 2 panels. One with a small and a big. The other one with a small and a big. And we'll go from there. See where we get to. So, that's the next thing. I got to get that made up. I haven't grabbed the camera the last couple of days, but I've been slowly working on it. I got the last couple big pieces made. And I know this looks like a mess. Because it is a mess right now. This is what the clamshells are going to be going on. I've cut the foam out because the clamshells will be sitting right up against the plywood. But I've got to get in here, get all the screws out. I got to clean up my drips, what have you. Now I've got 2 of these I'm doing. Now, as to the clamshells themselves, you know, I got to go through. I need to repaint the wording on here a little bit. They're getting dirty and scratched up. But when I originally cut these, I really didn't pay too much of attention on how straight my lines were, and they were kind of rocky, kittywampus. So I went and trimmed them up so they're more flat and level. And I've added a piece of wood on the bottom of them here. And we'll be using these for mounting, and I'll put a cleat on the wall, on the top edge too, to help kind of fasten them. But that is the bottom one. Oh, hey, we got a Kaylee. And this isn't the right one to go, but it sits down there on the bottom like that. The top one, on the other hand, I did a little bit different. I did a mounting board here, and each of these will be getting a cleat to hold it on, and I'll do one around the outside edge too. But I also wrap both the side and the bottom in foam, which will be getting carved. And basically because this will be seen. The big one on the bottom is down low enough, unless someone wants to get on their knees and actually purposely look at it, they won't be able to tell that there's no foam there. So that'll be fine. But anyway, I gotta get these two cleaned up as well. I gotta get these cleaned up as well, which is gonna be my project for today, is getting these cleaned up. Now, when I cut the middle piece out, I save the part that cuts out. I just got this sitting in there for now. But you know, it's the same way. This one needs to be cleaned. I need to get the mounting screws out of it. But I saved it on purpose. It's basically to help me with layout. I'm going to be doing the brick pattern on it, same like I did on the wall skins for the water room. And it's just easier if I have the foam in there. Once I get the pattern laid out, these pieces will be going in the trash. But today, it's cleanup. We're going to get this panel and the big panel out there cleaned up. And I think we're going to get into layout. And we'll get the pattern laid out on all the pieces. I still have a third project to do. This is Morgan's fountain, and this will be going on underneath where the video will be playing. I'm going to make 2 more of these, and I don't know if I'll just have them as dummies, you know, or if I'll make actual fountains out of them or not. I haven't gotten that far ahead, but we're going to be going from there down to about here and then straight across, and we're going to do that blue pipe here and here. So I need to make up 2 more of those little foam wall, fake wall panels to go on this. And I think when we get into painting, I'm going to clean this up a little bit more, and I'm going to have Morgan out here helping me with the painting. I think I haven't said anything to her about that yet, though. But we'll get them repainted and stuff so everything matches. But I still need to make 2 more of those, and I haven't gotten to that yet. I think I'll wait until after I get this done and carved, and then we can do a test fit before painting and see if there's adjustments that need to be made. But we are getting there, and I'm sorry you're getting wonky camera angles. I'm not paying attention to where I'm aiming the camera, like I ever do anyway. But I think for today, I'm going to get these out of here. I'm going to get this panel and the other panel out there kind of cleaned up. Then I need to get into a storage dump out back and get one of the water room skin panels in so I can get some measurements off of it. And we will go through and get the pattern laid out on these panels, and then we can probably start doing some carving. So, and we're going to do the carving out here in the shop because these are too big to get in the house. I'll scratch the hell out of the floors and the walls trying to get these downstairs. Yesterday we got 1 panel done, laid out at least. I did the bottom section of the tub and the side. Grout lines match, and I put the word haunted up here, so we'll have a plaque up there. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. But we've gotten this far. I think I've got quite a bit of footage. So I think I'm going to close this out as part 1. And part 2 will be the carving progress and probably the paint on these, which will be up in 2 to 3 weeks probably. Depending on how long it takes me to carve and how much energy I got for doing the painting. We'll have to wait and see. But we will find out. Stay spooky. Stay toxic.